Hello and welcome back to Panting the Geeks. What you see in front of you today is the Core Space Firstborn Kickstarter. It's finally come.
Yay!
And this was the complete Kickstarter, so it's everything you can get in it that's possible. So we're going to unbox this.
Exciting stuff.
I know, been waiting for this to come. It's one of the few Kickstarters we've got on the move.
Yes.
I think it was 2020, so we've been waiting a while. But understandable with everything that's been going on.
Yeah.
So today we're going to start by unboxing the big box. See what's in.
Can we not unbox that?
Okay, today we're going to unbox this at the request of Claire. So you're not going to get to see anything else today. Really? Really? We'll have a look at those, because they're just peripheral stuff. But we're going to unbox this today.
Okay.
And then in the future videos, we're going to do each of the other little boxes that you get with it. Maybe the dashboard and stuff, we'll do that together, because it's just only what you get in here, a bit extra. There's also a shuttle in there as well. Yeah. I might get its own video. Like the previous one. There we go. So, let's zoom in on this. Okay, so this is the core box. And this is also a standalone game, so if you've not got the very first edition of Core Space, you don't need it. You can just get this one. But if you can get it, I recommend it. It is a very good game. This is the Kickstarter edition, so there will be stuff in this that you don't get in a off-the-shelf copy as well. But there we go. So, let's turn it over. It's very heavy too. Heavier than the first box.
I think it's bigger than the first box, actually.
It is. It's way bigger. So, as you can see here, it tells you everything you get in here. So we've got the contents at the bottom, which are 4 trader miniatures. So unlike the first game, in the first game you get 2 crews. This one's only got the 1 crew. But it's still a 1 to 4 player game, because you can just play 1 person or 2 people, or all 4 people, depending on how many people are playing. There's 12 Firstborn miniatures, 2 Game Hunter miniatures, 2 Rockworm miniatures, 8 character boards. We also do have some extras over there, I think. Yep. 1 plastic hostility tracker, 150 plastic pegs, token pouch, 192 equipment tokens. That'll be fun. 6 bag counters, 7 dice. We've got a whole bunch of bags, haven't we, somewhere?
We have somewhere.
7 dice, 2 range rulers, 24 event cards, 3 reference cards, a rulebook, learn to play rulebook, and finally a 2-foot square neoprene mat with over 150 3D terrain pieces to construct alien catacombs. And again, this says at the bottom it's a standalone game. You don't need the other one to play it. Let's get it opened. That's a better place to open it now.
Right, lift.
Oh God! Here's a brick. Come on.
6 hours later.
So it's vacuum packed as well.
Actually, it may be more like 12 hours later.
Silicon gel that we want to get rid of.
That'll be your mat.
That'll be the mat. Let's have a look. This is the top box. Have a look at what we get.
Oh, that's nice.
It is nice actually.
I like that. Interesting.
A fresh, rubbery neoprene smell. You can't appreciate it on the camera, but it's neoprene-y. There we go. Let's put that out of the way. So we have a little core space pouch. We have our see-through rulers. Quite good.
Yeah. Interesting.
Pouch. We have
baggies.
We do have some baggies in there.
Oh, cool.
Right, we have the cardboard inserts. So, like the first game, once you put everything out, you put these in, and then you can put things back in different zones.
Handy.
Yeah, I do like that little aspect. I've thought about storage as well as anything.
Yeah, you don't have to go out and buy any of the foam. Well, I suppose you could, but you don't have to.
We have here, I believe these are all the ships. I don't know if you get this in the normal edition, or whether you... I wouldn't imagine you would get this in the normal edition. I don't know. I'm not sure. But these are... Because what they've done, if you've played the first edition, you don't know anything about this, is they've added extended ship. Do that. Rules. So like the Black Maria. That was yours, wasn't it?
I think it might.
One of our ships.
Yeah.
It's been a while since we played it. But we now have these big ship boards rather than just like a little board that says this is your ship and this is where you start.
Okay.
And you can upgrade it and everything. Cygnus.
Yep.
And then we have the Eidolon. Then we have the.
Let's
That one doesn't have one on, does it?
Let's have a look.
Is that one you can name yourself?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Cool. We have the Iron Hope. What's that in there?
Oh, that's another one there.
When you turn them over.
That's not got a name on it.
Because you can buy different ships in the game, so it's probably what that's for. Then we have the Skylark. Okey-doke. And then this is what this is for. This is a ship board. It's got these little components in, so be careful not to lose them. Move those a little bit this way now. So this is the ship component, so one of those should fit in. Yeah, like that. Use that to push it out. So we have on the back these little holes, and this is what these are for. These are connectors. So you can add on under the board to the side.
Oh, clever.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, so the new character boards have those as well, I think. So we have the core space dashboards, how to use them. We have ships of disrepute, which should be rules on how to use the ship boards we've just been looking at. We have In the Line of Fire,
Okay.
which I think was one of the expansions. They just put them all in here, you see, for the Kickstarter edition. And we have the Fury of the Insane God. And then I believe this will be the Firstborn one you'd get if you were just buying the normal version of this, which is the Learn to Play book. So all those ones are only in the Kickstarter edition, apart from this one. This is the Learn to Play rulebook. That's just my understanding anyway. Then we have the actual rulebook. And then we have, oh god, this insert here. This has got a load of stuff in it, so I'm going to put that there for a second. Then we have what I assume will be all the models.
Looks like it, yep.
Trying to burst out, there's that many of them. And then we have all the card inserts in here. Oh, is that actually in there?
Yes.
Yeah, it's actually in there. I thought it was on top. That's actually in there. Where to start? Is there anything else in there?
Just little bits.
Let's have a look at this, because we haven't. So the top bit's the threat meter.
Yeah.
Come here. Oh, I just love you to stick it out. Yeah. You don't want to wrap around yourself. There you go. So yeah, so that's like the one in the first edition,
It is, yeah.
I think. Is that the reason? I don't know. And then we have the, oh my god, it's stuck to Get off! We have the character boards, which are similar to the first edition character boards, as you'll see. On camera, yeah, as you'll see. When you turn them over, we have these little attachments as well. So there should be 4 of those.
Have they got a bit more detail in the back? I don't
They look like they have,
recall the other ones having as
They
much
look being
detail,
more-
like a
yeah.
data pad almost.
We have those 4. Then we have the terrain clips in
Yeah.
there. Then we have event cards. And we have more terrain clips. More terrain clips. And then we have the Insane God, I think. Here.
Dude. Oh. Wow.
Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, it's pretty badass. I think he's just in this to keep you in position.
Yeah.
Transport.
I would say so.
Oh, here we go. I suppose that's how he stands on
the thing,
on the board. It's quite a large model.
It is, isn't it? It's quite dynamic, that as well.
Yeah, because he's like being lifted up by his tendrils, Doc Ock style.
Yeah. A bit like Carnage, actually, with his little tendrils he's got going on.
So he's the boss, I think.
I would say so.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, it'd be really embarrassing, wouldn't it, if like some little titchy thing like Grogu's size would be the boss.
Maybe it is.
And everyone looks at him and goes, "Oh, it's Grogu," and then he kind
of
goes,
kill everything.
Yeah, wastes you completely.
Commands everybody to attack.
If I move these out for you, you can put that down then.
Right, so this again, with it being the Kickstarter edition, it's probably got extra stuff in here. So we have a bunch of pegs with various colours.
Oh, those are new. I don't remember them. I remember the green and black. Those are new as well, I don't remember them.
Okay. We have, these are the sideboards. Not actually a sideboard. These are like these, I think they're called utility dashboards.
Oh, is that what you put your...
Yeah.
What you're carrying with you or something?
So there's two types.
Okay.
There's these ones.
Which have your hit points on, I take it.
Yeah, got shielding, enamel.
Yeah.
And then two little slots there. And then we have this one, which could just be extra carry space. Because it's got like a little backpack symbol.
Oh, right, okay.
And again, all these have this clip thing at the back, and there's clips in there.
Oh, that's handy.
Set it upside down for random reasons. Some of those little clips in there, and then you just basically stick it on there, and then you've got the dashboard over there.
Blue, yeah.
I'm not sure which side you meant to put it at, or if there's any particular side you have to do it. And that should just clip on there, and then you've got yourself an extended dashboard.
That's handy. That really is cool.
I don't know if you have to go on any particular side, or if you're limited to having one of one type. We'll find out as we go along.
Mm.
Yeah, you obviously just switch this from one to the other. You have to have a little baggie for all these little bits.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you get two of each of those in there. So, I'll put these.
We've got 3 spare bags here.
Cool. I'll give you that.
Put the plant them into there.
So, dice. We have ourselves some gem dice.
Those are neat.
Yeah. So there's 4 red, 1 blue and 1 green. I think that's the alien dice because it's got a nice picture of the alien head on it. And then we have like a random dice in it. So we also have, so that I think all this bit is empty pretty much when, apart from maybe the pegs, if you get the normal edition.
Right, okay.
These are all Kickstarter bits and pieces.
Oh, cool. Well, they seem to go with one of the missions.
Yeah.
So they seem to go with the In the Line of Fire mission because that's...
I'm going to bring the camera in a bit. It's
quite high up.
It's quite high up and I'm not sure what I'm getting on camera or not because I can't even see it. So hopefully this guy's on camera.
That's cool. So that guy... Does he have a name? Is he called...
They should all have a name. I Cool.
Let's go for Bob.
Which add-on's this?
This one's for In the Line of Fire.
In the Line of
so
Fire.
you've got these guys
Oh,
here,
yeah,
so
cool.
they seem to match.
So that's cool. He's got a load of tech on him. He's got 3 legs. 3 legs, 3 arms, and a load of like cybernetic arms. Very nice.
He looks like he's a prospector.
Cool. There's also this guy.
That's Zane.
That's Zane.
Zane Nair, he's called. He's human, he's age 40. There you go.
It's very specific.
It is,
from
isn't
not
it?
knowing
Yeah.
the name of the alien. Don't even know his name or race or anything. Don't care. Well, as a human, we know his exact name, age, height, vital statistics.
Yeah. Exactly.
I think there's some xenophobia going on here. Who's this?
That's prospector. Oh, she's called Laurie.
Laurie.
Yeah, I can't see what the other guy's name is because they've kindly put the pictures behind each other and covered the other guy's name up.
Oh, nice.
It looks like Rui or Bui or something like that, perhaps.
We have this one.
That one is Misoon.
Misoon.
And his
Never
name
name.
is Misoon. He was really, really original. He's a Guel. And he's 237 years old.
Cool.
Ancient.
We have this little drone as well.
Oh, there we go. Oh, that really is nice. They've got Lorinda. So, the one that you picked up before, Lorinda Vincent. She's human, aged 30. But they don't have the other dude that you picked up. He's not important, clearly.
There's some xenophobia going on here, I'm afraid.
Oh, bless him. He's
If
not
you're
even...
human, you get an entire...
Yeah,
if you're an alien, nah.
Oh, bless
We don't
him.
even
He's
care
just
what
not
race
even
you are,
in
let alone what
there.
your name is. You're just alien, random alien with 3 limbs. Poor guy.
I know. Even the drone isn't in there. I mean, the drone might have a name. It might be called...
Droidophobia.
Exactly.
Droid... I don't know. Okay, so we have some more models in here. Oh, there's a separate arm on one of them. Crikey.
Oh, blimey.
So these are some of the Firstborn models. I don't know if they're just dupes of anything else. Are they? No? Are they separate?
Are these, like, different guys because of the Kickstarter?
Are they different? Or is it that guy who's on his side? He's a copy of that guy on the side. Who I couldn't see properly. Then we have this dude.
Nice.
Who I believe...
Looks like he's got a bat left.
Yeah, I think what's happened there is... That is actually meant to be stuck on.
And it's just come
So
off.
at the factory, obviously they stick those on. Why? Because this guy's is stuck on. So it might be moulded separate, but that's not actually meant to be separate.
That's not a problem.
It's not an issue that some glue will solve, I believe, so we'll just glue that back on. But yeah, a broken model. Shock. And this guy's that guy.
Yeah.
And this guy is this guy.
Pointy guy.
Look, up there.
Doing a magic trick.
And this guy is this guy.
Okay.
So these are just extra models. And I believe these are extra drones too.
Okay. I don't know about you, but these look a bit more terrifying than the Purge.
They do actually. So there's a drone actually already on its base for random reasons. I don't think they're meant to be on the bases. They do come off. So the reason you'd want them to come off is so you can spread them. And then you're not spraying over the nice clear base.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a drone. I think all the drones are the same. I'm lying because that one's different. This one has claws that are coming out, so it's a slightly different model. I think there's only 2 types of drone. I won't say that because I hope there's 3. No, there's 2 though. Because everything I say is wrong.
Oh, he's gone.
It's like, oh, he's gone. Yeah, there's a 3rd type of drone. See, I was wrong again.
Do you feel better now?
Yes, I do, because if everything I say is wrong, it's like, I'm definitely not going to win the lottery tonight. I'm working off that theory now.
Okay.
So yeah, that should go in. There we go. So it looks like there's 3 different types of drone. One with both claws out, one with a left claw out, and then one with both claws pulled in. I don't think there's a 4th. No.
No.
But yeah, they should come off. They should come separate to the. I think they've put them on, but they've probably shook out in transit.
Yeah.
But they're not glued in. That's the main thing.
Oh, that's good.
If you don't want to paint these, you just want to glue them in, go ahead. But if you're painting these, it's best to have the bases separate. This guy does not want to stand up now.
I think he's been drinking, that guy.
We have these models. These are big models.
Oh.
These aren't deeps. Nice.
Oh, wow. He's even got a beard going on, that dude.
He has. And the 2 different ones as well. Same beast or whatever he is.
Just in different.
So I imagine this is for the other add-on, the Fury of the Star. Fury of the.
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you've got on there, so.
So yeah, this is the Fury of the Insane Guard. I don't know if you might get that one with the box. Don't quote me on any of that.
Well, they've not got names. There's just
shit.
guard.
We're gonna have to give them names.
Yeah.
So we have some rockworms.
Oh, rockworms.
Which is obviously some sort of thing you can get cream from your doctor for, but there's 2 different moulds as well. 2 different. They're cool.
Yeah.
Quite large and terrifying. Those things bursting out of the ground like tremors or mini dune things.
They look friendly anyway.
We have the hunters. So these are the 2 hunter models from the game.
Okay.
I don't know what the names are. We'll find out.
I don't think
They'll be in the main game.
in the main game.
So
Alright.
the book that I've kindly stacked everything on top of would probably tell us what they are. Planning. Yeah. Oh. And then we have the crew. These are the guys you'll be playing as. We got Big Dude. This is Big Dude. We have Robot Dude.
It looks like the torture droid from.
He does look like a torture droid. Oh my word. I'm calling this one Matt.
Matt. Yeah, after Matt Berry.
Yes. We have slanty, shooty side shot guy.
Okay.
We have the captain.
Awesome.
She's got some shoulder-mounted predator gun. So those are the models you get in it. They should all fit back in there as well for storage purposes. Well done.
He just does not want to stand up. He's going to be fun, I can see it.
Oh, he's going to be a lot of fun.
The bug gets knocked, he goes down.
Well, I'm going to tick all these off.
If the bug gets knocked and he gets knocked down, do we win?
Yeah, it's an automatic victory.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's a new house rule I've just put in. The automatic victory, you get all objectives, and you get to buy yourself a drink too.
Great. I like those rules.
Right. So I was hoping that it would tell me now who they actually were.
Maybe it's in the overview. I've actually noticed that guy from the other set in the Line of Fire, you know,
yeah.
the guy that I said
the guy with no name.
He does have a name. It's actually Bulworth.
Bulworth?
Bulworth, yeah. It's
cool name.
It's kind of like there.
Bulworth. It's kind of there on the front page, you know.
Yeah.
Kind of thing you couldn't possibly miss. Moving on. We have Wade.
Oh, cool.
That's a tiny shot guy. Cassie's the captain. Hopper's Matt. And Balcor is Big Guy.
Oh, the hunters have got names as well.
Keats and Caligorn. Nice.
Nice.
So the mobs, if we will, since they don't have individual names, we've got 2 iconoclasts, 3 lieges, 5 drones and
Trueborn.
2 Trueborn. So that's what you get in a normal game. All the others are the Kickstarter extras. Which is cool. And that's everything else you get in there as well. 3 reference cards. Yeah. So, terrain assembly. Just a few little bit of a guide on terrain assembly. Setting up a game. And key concepts. Firstborn things. Range Assault. Yep. So that's all the Learn to Fly guide. So we're gonna read that first. It's been a while since we played Crawl Space. Plus, there's probably new rules now.
Yeah.
With these slightly brown-ish. These are different colours.
They are actually.
I think they're to go with like the Firstborn terrain as opposed to the grey.
The grey of the
Cyberpunk
yeah.
type ones. We have our event deck, which Claire's going to welcome.
Thank you.
I'm nice at that. And the rulebook. So the extended rulebook. So this should have the whole campaign in.
There'll also be extra rules, jump and things like that.
Yeah, a good rule to have.
It is.
Exhaust vents, stasis pods, arcs, command console, pillars,
So posh.
Trueborn stasis pods, and Dyson reactors. So these are all the bits of terrain that we're going to put together in a minute. Yay! So glossary of terms, what we use pegs for. So some of this will be probably covered in the Learn to Play, but these are the full rules. So yeah, it's pretty much. I'm trying to see if there's anything different from the first game. We did a playthrough of some of the first missions in the first game.
We did actually,
so we'll
yeah.
probably do the same with this, to be fair. So yeah, obviously like Firstborn and the NPC flowchart might be different. And rules for hunters. So then we've got the actual missions themselves, exploration. How to select a crew. Oh, a bit more information on the crew we get with the main game. Crew of the Eidolon. Captain Cassie Peltier.
Peltier.
Yeah. Full name's Cassiopeia. And then Wade Gentry. Balcora gets the one name. As does Hopper. HOP PA99.
Oh, he's only 12 years old.
Oh.
He's the baby of the crew.
And the Eidolon, which is their ship, which I think was.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, more rules on the ships. What to do in various situations. Crew upkeep. So this is all the campaign information. Briefing. Who goes there? Don't spare the rod. We're going on a bug hunt. Hop to it. This will be interesting to play because we used to play with 2 crews.
Yeah.
So having to actually work together as one crew could be devastating. Bring them back alive. For the enemy, I mean, because we're so good. Memory tag.
I'll just go now. See you later.
I think I missed one. Oh, turncoat. Yeah, I must have missed one. That's a thin page. Repair the reactor. Turncoat. On the offensive, And then
Save the galaxy.
Save the Galaxy. So that is basically the missions from the campaign. And then Epilogue. So what you can do is like play, if you've got other crews, you can play through with different crews as well. So yeah, they would handle the same situation. Which is something we'll probably do.
There's always different ways to complete the mission kind of thing, which is quite good. So, especially with it being cooperative, one of you can go and get one part and switch the console on, and the other crew can go and do what they need to.
Unless you're players versus.
Yeah.
That's entirely up to the people playing.
Yeah. I wonder if there's new skills, because it was like augmentation, wasn't there, and stuff like that.
So those are all the skills, then you have an index, and then quick references.
Oh, that's handy.
And there we go. So that is what's in the rulebook.
Awesome.
Yeah, let's get strength and terrain together. So let's get the sheets and have a look at them before we... Oh, we've got the...
I've got the cards there.
The cards. Of course. Let's quickly go through these. I won't read them out. I'll just feel free to pause the camera or fast forward if you're not interested in the cards. Yeah. Fascinating.
I'm going to say some of these look quite nasty.
Yeah, unfortunately.
So was that one card that you like, you're praying doesn't come out?
Wormholes. That literally means wormhole. Yeah, rockworms.
Rockworms, I was going to say. Food.
Worm food.
Game hunters.
So these look like reference cards. Yeah. We've got rockworm reference. Game hunters. And we have the dice reactor. Just on the other side. Command console. So these are just rules for using it in the game. So these are like little reference cards.
Oh, that's good.
Quite handy.
Like
And
that.
we have the as well as to show you that that's an arc, that's a stasis pod, it's searchable, trueborn stasis pod, and that's where they wake up from. Very nice. And then exhaust. Cool. So we also have defend the temple, surrounded, high alert. Called the arrival. Divine event. Advent. Insanity. Energy vacuum. Energy release. Don't know why I said it like that. Rumours of riches. Rumours of riches. Gold in them there hills. Supply drop. Breaking news. Peter Parker is Spider-Man. Making headlines. Spoilers though.
Just in case you didn't know. Where have you been?
Right.
Those are the...
So these are the... I hoped it would open from there. I hope Claire would have opened this while I was doing that.
Oh, sorry. I thought you wanted to...
But no.
Put it on camera. Sorry.
Oh. Well, I just thought this would be entertaining for you to watch me try and open them.
Yeah.
So there we go.
I did actually.
Jokes on her, it only took me 20 minutes. So we have ourselves some items. Anything else on there? We've got the flame effect. I think this might be the battle armour and stuff that goes in the 2 slots.
It looks like it because it's got like little pegs
Yeah, it's
on
like
it.
2 slot weapons. Then we have the backpacks and couches and stuff that store things.
That's cool.
Yep, enhanced suits, heavy demolition harnesses. Oh, cool. Right, so that's there. Then we have alien catacombs and walls. This is how all the terrain comes. If you've never seen Battle Systems terrain, it all comes like this. It's card terrain. It's pretty good card terrain.
It is actually.
I do actually quite like it.
It's quite sturdy as well.
Yeah, it's something I've come to like, having had a bad experience once with it. That was the Red Rocket.
Yeah.
So we have more alien catacombs and walls. It's definitely really good for this core space style game. And then we have entrances with little closed, locked counters as well. Another sheet of those. Another sheet of those. Then we have alien catacomb scatter. So we have some of the arcs, some of the exhaust vents. So this is all stuff we need to build, as opposed to the walls, which are just going to slot together. So we'll just be pulling them out and keeping them together. This is actually terrain we need to build. So let's put this separately. We have another scatter. Is that a third scatter?
Yeah.
Then we have Firstborn equipment.
So these are all things that you can buy in the shop, or
Yeah, pretty much all find.
and you've got the doors there as well. The things spawn.
I think most of the stuff in Firstborn is stuff you find. And then we have it's exactly the same.
That's the same.
So we basically have 2 sets which are the same.
Yeah.
Then we have the Aliens Catacomb Reactor. Is this the Dyson reactor? Looks like.
So with the Hoover everything up.
We also have rockworm counters at the top. Yeah, it's like a big Hoover. That's why it's called Dyson. Then we have the character tokens and cards and such like. So yeah, all the machine. Is that new?
Marine's new, I
I
think.
don't remember Marine.
Machine I remember. Because I'm sure I had one of the droids. Or was he a tech? I can't remember.
I think he was tech.
Oh,
I
might
can't
be
remember.
right, actually.
We might be wrong on that one. I might be wrong on that one. Claire might be right.
I can't remember.
But those are the crew cards, and those are some of the other tokens as well. And then we have the Trueborn, Firstborn, and then we have the Hunter tokens there. they do actually have a different side on this. That's the hunter side. And then that'll be the crew side, if you were hiring them as crew, because a lot of the characters in the game you can just hire as crew.
Yeah.
We have the hostility tracker there. This is the specific one for this. 2 levels of threat. A lot more counters and everything. What's that? Trueborn inserts. Oh, mine rewards. Is that what they are?
Yeah.
Because them I was looking at. I thought, Trueborn inserts. What the hell's this? But it says mine rewards.
Yeah, no, those are the inserts, aren't they, that go into the...
So yeah, on the other side of the mine rewards is a bunch of...
That's new.
Figures. Yeah, that's something we'll have to have a look at.
Yeah, remember the search counters where you can search in a room?
Yes. And we have the card for Missoon, Lalandra, Zane and the guy with no name.
Bulworth.
And that guy's an autocam.
Ooh.
It doesn't have a name, it's just an autocam.
Oh.
But again, yeah, got the crew cards and we've got some Firstborn inserts there. And then we have a ship overlay.
Okay.
And we have more tokens. And then we have another Alien Catacombs Ruins sheet at the end there. I think that's got a Stasis Pod to build on it. So, what we'll do now is we're going to take all these off and stack them up, and then we'll come back and we'll put together the actual bits of terrain that need to be stuck together permanently, like the scatter terrain and stuff. So you can see how that's built. So we're going to go away for a long time, but for you it should only be a second. See you in a moment. Okay guys, so we've taken off all the wall sections. From the wall sections we have 4 of these little things. These are pillars. So I thought I'd start by showing you these. These are pretty straightforward to put together. We've got 4 pieces. They slot in like that. So how I did the first one was just to make sure they were in. As far as I could get them, and then to put them against a solid surface and really push them in. Trying to apply pressure on all the corners at the same time. So it goes down at about the same speed. They're very tight fits, but that's good because they're not being taken out again afterwards. And that is the main part of the pillar. The next bit are these 2 parts. So we have a square and a cutout square, slightly larger. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to stick a square on top of there, followed by that going on there. I'm going to stick them on, but I just want to line them up properly. So that is the way they go. And you end up with a pillar that looks a bit like that. I'm going to go ahead and stick these together and we're back in a second. So these are the completed pillars, glued on, leaves you this little square at the top. So next up we're going to take a look at the Alien Catacombs scatter, which is this big thing here. So on these there is another pillar. There is another pillar. So I'll show you that again because that's easy enough. When you're taking these off, I find the best way is to turn them over. So you've got 2 sides. You've got one side where they've stamped it and there's like an indentation all around. There's also a little knife symbol on there to tell you to use a knife to cut it. You don't necessarily have to. There are some little bits that stick though, so I do recommend using a knife on some of it. But if you push it from this side, quite often it will just fall out. And if you push it from the back, there is much less chance of it tearing when it comes out. If you're cutting it, there's pretty much no chance of it tearing, but it takes time to go around and cut it all. If you get any parts that don't just come out, like that might not just come out, you might want to then run a knife around that part of it. It's a bit like when using MDF, basically. So, if you've used that before. So it's just a case of pushing all the little bits out. This bit did actually tear on one of those ones when I was taking it off the main sprue. That bit's come out no problem. So it depends exactly on the print. Sometimes you get exactly the same one and it's different because they haven't stamped it just quite as much. It could be like a millimetre out or something. And then there's a chance of it tearing. It usually tears from the back where it's not been stamped. So if you push through from the back, that's your best chance of not tearing it. Push through from the front, that's usually when you rip it. In my experience anyway. So there'll be some more of those to put together. I shall do that separately. But what we're going to build next is one of these. So here's one I prepared earlier, repeater style. If anyone knows what that is. So this is the, turn it around, this is the Stasis Pod. So there's 2 of these per sheet, so you'll need one of those. You do need to push that out. So you need one of those. You need one of those. So there's 2 slightly different ends. And you're going to need one set of these. This is pretty hard to push out before. I might go and cut that. And you need 2 of these. See if it'll come out. It might do. It might come out.
Sometimes it just needs a bit of coaxing
Yeah,
out kind of thing.
You can sort of tell if it's going to tear. If you push too much, you go, yeah, I'm going to have to cut that. After you've done a few of these, they're all sort of pretty much follow the same. You get the idea whether it's going to come out on its own or not. But be careful. Don't apply too much pressure, otherwise they will rip because it is only cardboard. But it's pretty sturdy. So these are all the parts you'll need. There's these 2 end parts, which are those bits. There's 2 of these bits which are punched out from there, the centre part, and then we have these 2 parts which keep it together. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to roll this up. So this has got perforations all along it. You can see that. You can probably hopefully see that on the camera. If you put the reactor together from the first set, it's the same idea. Apart from this is going all the way around. I believe the reactor was just an arc. I can't quite remember.
It was actually.
Yeah, it was,
yeah.
wasn't it? So what we're going to do, we're just going to convince these that they want to bend a little bit, but not bend them too much. We certainly don't want to take them off and have them rip. We need to maintain its integrity as far as making a cylinder goes. These end bits are shorter and they're slightly stiffer to actually turn, which is slightly annoying, but we end up with pretty much a cylinder. And what we're going to do is, it doesn't really matter where you do this from, I don't think. The decals are slightly different, but there's no particular indication of which way it goes in, as long as it goes in. So we're going to put that one through there. And we're going to put this one through here. And what we don't want to do is what it's done is fold over, so I'm going to pull that apart. Okey-dokes. So we have it like that. Next we're going to put on these, which is what's going to keep it together. So we have a short end and a long end. The long end goes with the larger bit, and the short end with the small bit. So we're going to line these up. So, and then use the power of the table and the fork combined. And slowly from all sides again, pushing down a bit at a time. Don't want to do this too quick, otherwise the cardboard will break, tear, bend. But maybe we'll do is make sure it meets the table. And if we do that, we shouldn't even need to glue this part of it. Okay. There we go. The last part is to put on the ends. So these are made of 2 parts, a bit like the crates from the first game. And what I've done on the other one is these are slightly beveled because they get stamped from one side. There was like a minute, probably millimetre all the way around in total bevel. So I'm going to make sure that the outside's the smoother side, so the bevels go in that direction, and I'm going to put that the same way around. So what happens is that the inner part that's going to seal this is actually about a millimetre thicker where it joins onto this, so there's a better chance of it not falling off randomly. Better, not guaranteed, although this is stayed on, it's easy to take off. So what I'm going to do now is glue these on to here, so I'll have 2 of these plugs and I'll put them onto the end, and once they're glued on they'll be like that, and they should be able to go in and out relatively easy, like that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put all these together, and then we can move on to the next bit. Okay guys, so having put all these together now, a couple of things: you can put the cradle section together before you put the middle bit through. That does make it a bit easier when you're pushing it on, that this isn't in the way. Another thing is, if you make sure the split in this is at the bottom, it'll actually help to get the ends in, because if they're a bit stiff when you're pushing them in, you can actually prise it apart a little bit from the bottom part. So you either have it at the top or at the bottom, or where you know where it is, where it meets there for instance. And if you're having problems pushing those in, you can actually just prise that apart very slightly, push it in and let it go. It almost clips it into place. So cool. A couple of tips. Tip with these is to put them on, stick them together upside down. That's the easiest way to line them up when you're trying to get this sort of stepped appearance, rather than trying to line it up that way around. It's much easier to see. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the exhaust vent. So what we're building is one of these with flame on and flame off. So if you pass one of the sprues, yeah, oh, I suppose they are really. There's one exhaust vent on each of these. So we want these parts here. We want these bits. And we also want this bit here and these 2 sections here. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to get one of these large ones, one of these ones here. We're going to cross fit them like that. We're then going to get the, oh, done the wrong one. I knew I'd do that. Right, we're going to get one of these sections here, one of these sections here, cross them like that. We want these first, and then there's a little bit got left in that. A bit of fragmentation.
Some scissors.
It's alright, it shouldn't affect it There we go, rim. And then we have, and you go. The last one. And again, try and apply force from more than one place. If you apply force from one place, like just from here, the chances of it bending are quite high. So trying to apply force from more than one place at any given time when you're pushing down on something. So now we need these parts. We're going to cross them, across streams, like that. And then we're going to fit these into place in here. Makes a nice creaking noise. I'm doing that, I'm just pushing down these two middle sections to try and get it in place. There we go. So then we have the little vents. There's not an off version of the vent here. What difference that makes, but we should clear that way up. And then we have the fire, which is just a cross section. And then that sits in there. So we have fire on and fire off.
Cool.
If we do need to change the vent around, we can just poke it out from the bottom, have it closed. I don't know if that's a thing, but because there's two different versions of it, that might be a thing, closed and obviously the open side.
Yeah.
There we go, so that's the exhaust vent. Actually super easy to put together, that one. I didn't even need any glue, and it's not going to come apart either, that. So I've got one more else to put together, and then we'll be back. So next up we're building these, which are the little crates. I think they're known as arcs in this. This is what they look like when they're done. And they should have a removable lid. So we have this and this. So where they are on this, the cardboard sprue is on here. So we have a whole bunch on here, and then we have the lid section further on there. So when we've punched them off, what we get is all these pieces. So from these sections here, you have a larger yellow and a smaller yellow and these little red ones. Now, the larger yellow is yellow on both sides. That is your top part of your lid. The small yellow has red underneath. That is the base. And the red part is the inside, the yellow part is the outside. And this bit is red on both sides. And that is the inside of the lid. You don't actually need to add these. I added these on the crates initially because if you don't add them onto the crates, the lid falls off. However, I'll show you before we glue this together. The way that this is built with these little cross sections at the top, if you put on a normal lid without that bit in the middle, it stays on. It doesn't fall off. If you turn it upside down, that's when it falls off. And the lid that's stuck on, that slots into place and it stays on even if you turn it upside down. So it's more secure with it. It doesn't need it. So if you're a bit dubious about sticking these on, you don't necessarily have to do it. I will be doing it. But so we want to start. So what we need is 4 of these pieces, and 2 have indents at the bottom, and 2 have indents at the top. So you want one of each to start with. You want to cross them over, and these are a little bit fiddly to put in, chiefly because of these stanchion leg parts that are on it. With the crates in the first set, it was easy just to push them in and push them against them. If you try it with this, these will bend, and these will bend as well, even the smaller ones. So you've got to be a lot more careful with this, if you will. And then we want to get the next bit So the best way is to push these in as far as you can get them individually, rather than doing it all at once. And then we're left with this from both sides. So this one's it's about as much, a little bit more. Yeah. Yep. Okay. Don't want to apply too much pressure doing it this way. But there we have it. That's one of the arcs. And then we want a bottom on. So the bottom should now fit into place, but you are really want to glue this into place, to be honest. Now, if you don't want to use super glue like I've been using so far, you can use PVA glue. Just bear in mind you'll have to probably leave it for quite a while for it to set into place. That fits in there quite well. That's good. I'm going to use super glue. The best way I find to do this is glue two sides. And that way you can hold on to one of the other two sides when you're trying to put it in. And then use your other finger to push up from inside to make sure it isn't going too far. But you want to make sure that it's as level as it can be. Like that. That's what it's like from the inside. So next up we're going to get the lid. Now this is a bit more worrying, especially when you're dealing with super glue on cardboard. I'm going to get that and drop that right in the middle of where that decal is. Now this is the smooth side, that's the flat side. Again, the smoother side where it's stamped from. Again, I'm going to reverse that here so the smoother side's pointing down. That will give it a better in and out without getting caught on this. Because unlike the crates, again, you have this X thing holding it in place. So with the crates, if you were off, it'd still go on. It'd just look a bit lopsided, like crates slightly open. It didn't really matter. It just gave it, created a bit of a different effect. On this, it won't fit into place. So we want to make sure that that does go in, and it does. Don't push it in too soon. Allow the glue sort of a little bit to dry, a few seconds before you put it in. But then you have an arc. And you should have an arc that doesn't glue in at the top. Done. So I've got to put another 3 of these together, and then we'll move on to the Alien Catacomb Reactor. Okay, so next thing we're going to do is off this sprue. There's only one of these sprues, so there's no previously I've built it. So we need the parts of the console, so we have this part here on the sprue. This part, this part, this part. We need to take these out as well, and then this is a little separate bit at the top there too, and we need this little bit as well. So I'm going to take those bits off. I think that's all the bits. So we give Claire those to take out. Okay. So we have this little bit there needs to come out. That bit needs to come out. That's not used for anything. I always tell someone it's not used for anything. It's got the white on it from the background. We have a little stone thing, like rune. There. I'll try and look out. And we have that. No problem. This. So the console has these little folds in a bit like the Reactor, the Stasis Pods did. And we want to just fold those. when you're folding, just make sure you push down from both sides equally and push up from the middle as well. Equal force at all sides. It kind of stops it from bending in the wrong place. So we have that. We should have a little bit here. It should go into there. And the other bit should go into there as well. Making this. We have these two parts. That overlays that. So I need to glue that into position. 1 second. Right, and we need to feed this into there and into there. Probably best put it through the back first. Let's try from underneath them. Might be easier. Okay, that's pretty secure. This actually goes in over there as well to secure that in place. A little bit of console growth or whatever it is.
Cool.
And then I think as the game goes on, you have a little rune there, and you have these little bits of console that will slot into there as like little in-game activations of things.
Ah, right, okay.
Yep.
Cool.
So that's what they're for. There we go. That's the console done. Next up, I think we'll do the Dyson reactor thing. Seems a safe bet to go to. It looks weird on here. So we'll get off all the parts for the Dyson reactor. I need that too. The rest looks like the Stasis Pod, which we'll do next. Okay, so the Dyson reactor actually has a few options. So we've got these 4 sections, and they have these cutouts here. There's 2 that have these cutouts. When you turn them over, you can see that the normal one's blank, and this one is like where you can see into the reactor. And apparently, you can just leave it like that. You don't have to do anything with it. You can just stick the 4 sections together and be done. Or you can get it to add some depth, which is what I'm going to do. But there's 2 options as well. So I'm going to start by punching this out. Which again, if you don't want to, you don't have to. You just stick it together. So now we have a hole there. So now we have 2 options. We have these bits here and these bits here. We can stick that on the inside and this on the outside to add some relief on the outside and make it deeper. Or we can stick this on the inside, which creates like a step effect on the inside, and then put this even further in, which creates like a really deep feel to the actual Dyson reactor. I'm not sure which looks better, to be fair. I like both. It's a bit of a
conundrum.
Do we go with this on the exterior to make it stand out a bit, or do we go with making it look deeper? I don't know. What does Claire think?
I think both look good. It really depends on whether you want it standing out. I think the one with the window on the outside makes it stand out to me a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Where the one with the window on the inside, you're probably not going to really get to see it unless you...
Yeah, I agree. I'm going to go with this one. Okay.
Yeah.
So first thing I'm going to do then is glue these into place before I stick the rest together. So this is going to go on the inside, and this is going to go on the outside.
Yeah.
Excellent. I think that would be the right way around to put it as well, because there's like a brown side and a gold side, so that's the way it would match up best. And you got like this little orange part at the top as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it would go that way around.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm going to do that. I'm back in a second. Right, so we have our sections glued. The next thing we need to do is fold these bits. Probably not to fold them too far. But there's two little sections, a little bit at the top, and there's this bit here. Like so. And then we have the folds on these bits as well, which match. Once they've folded a little bit, we're then going to put these together. So these just slot in. They're at a slight angle. Make sure it all lines up on the ground. So then we have this next bit, which is this rectangle cut out, which is different from the rectangles there, so don't get them mixed up. This one is a different size, and then that should fit over here. Pretty much like that. And then we have a Dyson reactor.
Cool.
Finished.
That looks awesome. I like that.
Don't want to stand in it.
Oh, no. No.
Cool. So the last thing is the Stasis Pod. Is it a pod? Firstborn Stasis Pod.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll push out the parts for this, and we'll be back in a second. There's also a quarter wall in here. I don't know. I think that might just be a quarter wall. I'll double check. I don't think it's part of the Stasis Pod. I think it's just a piece of terrain.
Okay.
Okay. So the last thing is this Stasis Pod. So we have these pieces. They're all irregular because I think it's at a weird angle, this thing. But they do have these bits that bend, like the previous bits we've looked at. So we just need to bend them over a bit. And we have one here that bends a little bit. And there's two little bits need pushing out.
I didn't push them out just in case. I thought it would just be like me to push them out and you go, no!
And this bit as well. And this has a bend on it too. Okay. The other bit with the bend is this. This will be the seat from the inside, so I want to bend this relatively far back. So then we have this section, the large section, the back. This will be the back of it. Then we have this side. You can match these up because of the angle it's at. The lower side is on this side. So if we push that there, that then sort of meets this back part. And we push this onto this side. You can see that that bit then meets up with this. And I will glue that in place at the end, I think. Just keep it together. Because I will be painting the edges on all these. Whatever colour is nearest to whatever. There's a lot of weird colours on these ones. Cyberpunk was just like greys and then yellows and blacks for the things. There wasn't much variation. There's a lot of variation on these. So I'll have to find some good colours that are near to paint the edges in. Though if you don't want to paint the edges, you can leave them. If you don't like this grey, you can just use a black felt pen and just go over them in black or a darker grey. Next up, we're going to put this seat in place. That goes in here. Like so. And then we have like, I think these are meant to be like the armchair seats.
Armchair?
Yeah.
Obviously he's sat in an armchair.
He's a firstborn, he's going to have the quality of life armchair, isn't he?
What a lazy boy.
Yeah, it's a lazy boy Stasis
Recliner.
Pod. You've not heard of the lazy boy Stasis Pod, it's the latest thing.
Into what, SCS or?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're on DFS. Always has a sale on.
Yeah. It's such a weird angle, it's hard to line up. There we go. So then we have this bit going on, which is the front section. Come on, you know you want to do it. There we go. So, and then we have this bit, which is kind of like, I don't know, headrest.
Headrest.
Fancy headrest. Adjustable headrest. And that is essentially the pod. What we have here is the door of the pod, which will fit into place there. That I'll leave glued off so it can be opened, obviously. These two parts I'm going to glue on so they meet up. Yeah. Other than that, I think that's most of the scattered terrain done. We have this random wall section. So yeah, quarter wall section. Let's go with the other wall sections, and then we have this ruins section as well. Not entirely sure what this is for yet. There is a ruined Stasis Pod on here. This is got half of one of those. It's got one end, and then like parts of it are there as well, and then we've got like fractured bits all over. No point in me showing you that going together because it's pretty much the same as the other one, apart from it's only half of one. And then we have a large ruined pillar here, which looks like it just slots in. Nothing too unusual. I'm not sure whether these are just used as scatter or not, because I don't know whether the camera can pick it there, but all these are cracked, so if I was to push this door out, it would come out in 4 pieces.
Yep.
Rather than just one like the other doors. And then we've got like holes in the wall and everything, so I don't know whether you're meant to keep these bits or what you're meant to do with this. So at the moment I'm not going to do anything with this until I find out what it's for. If I find out when we do one of the next videos, I'll let you know. But that's the end of part 1 of our Kickstarter unboxing. In part 2, We're going to investigate some of the add-ons, and we're also going to investigate the Trading Post 5 expansion. So stay tuned for that. But for now, please take care, please like and subscribe, and hopefully we'll see you again soon.
Bye!